242 souls, each with their own hopes, dreams, and connections to the world. One flight, a single journey that would forever alter the course of history. Seconds after takeoff, disaster struck. The promise of a safe journey shattered in an instant. What really happened to Air India Flight AI 171? The question that lingered in the air unanswered for so long. This question haunted investigators, families, and a nation, a collective grief searching for solace and understanding. The story is not just about a crash, but about dreams cut short and a desperate search for truth, a quest to understand the unfathomable. The day was supposed to be ordinary, just another journey connecting lives, families, and destinies. In a blink, the ordinary became catastrophe, etching a scar on India and aviation, a permanent reminder of the fragility of life. The silence after the engine's roar was the most terrifying sound of all, a void filled with unanswered questions and profound sorrow. For those aboard, trust in flight was absolute, a leap of faith into the hands of modern technology. Parents, filled with hopes for their children's futures. Students, eager to explore the world and chase their dreams. Business travelers, driven by ambition and the pursuit of success. Tourists, seeking adventure and creating memories to last a lifetime. Each with a world of stories, experiences, and loved ones waiting for their return. In those final moments, all stories converged into a single tragic narrative, bound together by fate. No one could have known this routine departure would become a national tragedy, a wound that time could never fully heal. The investigation would peel back layers of procedure, but never fully answer the deepest questions of loss, the whys that echo through the years. Today, June 12, 2025, we look back, not just to recount events, but to honor the lives lost and the legacy left behind, a testament to their enduring spirit. This is the story of Air India Flight AI 171, a name etched in the annals of aviation history, a flight that ended almost as soon as it began, leaving behind a nation in mourning. On the afternoon of June 12, 2025, what was meant to be a routine flight turned into a national tragedy. Air India Flight AI 171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, took off from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport in Ahmedabad, bound for London Gatwick. Air India Flight AI 171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, prepared for its journey bound for London Gatwick. On board, 230 passengers, 12 crew members, families, professionals, tourists. The mood was calm, the cabin routine. The aircraft, a reliable workhorse, had passed all checks. Pilots, seasoned veterans, communicated with air traffic control. Final cargo doors sealed, engines hummed to life. As the plane taxied, passengers settled in, safety video played. The captain's voice reassured, no hint of trouble, no sign of the flaw waiting to betray them. The flight was commanded by Captain Sumit Sabharwal, an experienced line training captain boasting over 8,200 flight hours. He was accompanied by First Officer Clive Kundar. According to air traffic control, the aircraft departed from runway 23 at 1:39 p.m. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner tragically crashed into a medical college complex just moments after taking off from Ahmedabad on Thursday. But just as the wheels left the ground, a hidden catastrophe began. The journey ended before it truly began. On the afternoon of June 12, 2025, an Air India Boeing 787 Dreamliner, operating as Flight AI 171 from Ahmedabad to London Gatwick, crashed shortly after departing from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport. Shortly after takeoff from Ahmedabad on Thursday, the Boeing 787 Dreamliner crashed into a medical college complex. Tragically, only one person survived the accident. An investigation is currently in progress. The plane had 230 passengers and 12 crew members on board. Miraculously, only one passenger survived the crash, 45-year-old British citizen Vishwas Kumar Ramesh. He has since shared chilling accounts of the moments leading up to the aircraft's stall and collision with the building. The AAIB will categorize the incident as a major aviation accident and will work to identify the technical or operational factors that contributed to the tragedy. The crash stands as one of the deadliest aviation disasters in India in recent years. On Friday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the survivor in the hospital and received updates on the rescue operations and ongoing investigation. The fatalities included 168 Indian nationals, 53 British citizens, 7 Portuguese, and 1 Canadian. Authorities are actively investigating the cause of the crash as tributes and condolences continue to pour in for the victims. A help desk has been established at Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport in Ahmedabad to support the relatives of passengers arriving in the city. Essential medical supplies, such as wheelchairs and stretchers, along with paramedics, have been deployed at the crash site. The struggle lasted less than a minute, an agonizingly short span of time that felt endless to those who witnessed it. The plane, crippled and unbalanced, was now at the mercy of gravity and the laws of physics. It descended rapidly, plummeting towards the earth with terrifying speed. The roar gave way to a horrifying whistle, the sound of air rushing over the damaged airframe. The aircraft failed to gain altitude and was just gliding before crashing into a building and bursting into flames. Then, impact. A blinding flash, an instantaneous burst of light that illuminated the surrounding landscape. A deep boom reverberated through the air, followed by an unsettling silence, a void where the roar of engines once dominated. A fireball erupted from the marshy crash site, a towering inferno consuming everything in its path. Black smoke billowed into the sky, a dark plume rising like a morbid monument to the tragedy. People rushed out from their homes and workplaces, drawn by the sound and the sight of the unfolding catastrophe. Cell networks jammed as thousands tried to reach loved ones, desperate for reassurance, for any sign that their families were safe. The nightmare was real. AI 171 had fallen, and the world was just beginning to grasp the scale of the devastation. The tragedy had only begun to unfold, leaving a scar on the collective memory. Emergency alerts blared within seconds of impact. Fire brigades, police, ambulances raced to the scene. A swampy, unlit field, vehicles bogged down, rescuers advanced on foot, carrying heavy gear. The wreckage was utter devastation, debris scattered, the fuselage engulfed in fire. The heat was intense, the air thick with smoke and burning fuel. Rescuers pressed on, searching desperately for survivors. Firefighters fought the blaze, paramedics set up triage, police held back crowds. The golden hour slipped away, hope faded, but the work continued through the night. These were not just professionals, they were human beings confronting unimaginable loss. At dawn, the devastation was clear, a graveyard of twisted metal and lost lives. The search for survivors became a recovery operation. Now the investigation began. Emergency services comprising 6 NDRF teams, fire trucks, ambulances, and police units were rapidly deployed to carry out rescue operations. A Mayday distress call was made before all communication was lost. The world watched. Families demanded answers. Investigators mapped the debris, focusing on the left engine, found far from the main crater. 2 theories emerged: catastrophic mechanical failure or pilot error. Maintenance records were scrutinized, ground crew and controllers interviewed. But the key evidence lay in the black boxes: the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder. Painted bright orange, built to survive fire and impact, finding them was top priority. The hopes of families rested on recovering these 2 vital boxes. In a significant breakthrough, authorities recovered the black box of Air India's Ahmedabad-London flight on Friday, just 1 day after the aircraft crashed shortly after takeoff. The device was discovered on a rooftop, believed to be that of the hostel building at BJ Medical College in the Meghaninagar area of Ahmedabad. The ill-fated flight had crashed into the hostel mess shortly after takeoff. The Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, AAIB, operating under the Ministry of Civil Aviation, has officially launched a detailed investigation into the incident. The Bureau is treating the event as a major aviation accident and will focus on uncovering the technical or operational factors that led to the tragedy. The cockpit voice recorder initially revealed calm and routine pre-flight checks, the pilots going through their procedures with practiced ease. Then, without warning, a sudden violent bang echoed through the cockpit, followed immediately by the shrill, piercing sound of the engine fire alarm. The captain and co-pilot responded with remarkable and urgent professionalism, instantly shifting into crisis mode, fighting desperately to maintain control and save the plane and its passengers. However, the flight data recorder, with its cold, hard data, told a more chilling and definitive story of the events that unfolded. It revealed that the left engine had suffered a catastrophic uncontained failure, a nightmare scenario for any flight crew. A turbine disc, weakened over time by a microscopic, undetectable defect, finally gave way, bursting through the engine casing with devastating force. The resulting shrapnel tore through the aircraft, severing vital hydraulic lines and control cables, crippling the plane's ability to respond. Critical systems were destroyed in an instant, leaving the pilots with limited options and a rapidly deteriorating situation. The pilots fought valiantly for control, wrestling with unresponsive controls, but the damage was too extensive. The aircraft no longer responded to their commands. The analysis of the black boxes definitively cleared the crew of any error or negligence. They had acted with utmost professionalism and followed every procedure by the book. The engine failure was a catastrophic and unpreventable mechanical disaster, an event that left the pilots with virtually no chance of recovery. The plane, now crippled and uncontrollable, entered an irreversible left bank, emergency alarms blaring incessantly in the cockpit, the pilots' desperate efforts ultimately futile against the overwhelming mechanical failure. The truth was undeniably clear. This was a tragic mechanical failure, an unavoidable disaster that no one, regardless of their skill or experience, could have prevented. The final moments in the cockpit were filled with courage and unwavering dedication to duty, not blame or regret. The findings sent a shockwave of grief across India. Mechanical failure, not pilot error, offered little comfort to families. Ahmedabad became the epicenter of sorrow. Relatives gathered, sharing stories and grief. The government declared a day of mourning, flags at half-mast, vigils held nationwide. Tributes filled media, transforming victims from statistics to beloved individuals. Sympathy poured in from around the world. The crash stands as one of the most devastating aviation tragedies in India in recent years. On Friday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited a survivor at the hospital and received a comprehensive briefing on the ongoing rescue operations and investigation efforts. Airlines observed moments of silence, aviation communities united in solidarity. For families, mourning was just beginning, a long, painful journey. They faced the agony of identifying loved ones, finding comfort in shared grief. The tragedy of AI 171 became a public sorrow, forever changing countless lives. The Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, AAIB, recovered the flight data recorder from the Ahmedabad accident site within 28 hours of the crash. The final report led to global mandates for enhanced engine inspections, targeting hidden defects. This represents a significant advancement in the investigation. Aviation officials emphasized that the aircraft's black box, containing both the flight data recorder and cockpit voice recorder, is essential for understanding how the disaster unfolded. Investigators are prioritizing the recovery of these devices to accurately reconstruct the aircraft's final moments before the crash. The black box, a vital piece of evidence, will be analyzed to uncover the cause of the tragic crash. A forensic expert reports that identifying the victims is proving to be extremely challenging, with DNA testing currently in progress to confirm identities. It's a place of tribute and remembrance for families and a reminder of aviation's human cost. The story of AI 171 is one of loss, resilience, and the drive to learn from tragedy. Behind every flight number and safety rule, there are lives. We must never forget the echoes of that fall, nor the 241 lives lost in the darkness and left one survivor.